Good morning. This is Senkamalam, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of BA English. I belong to the evergreen, esteemed Guru Nanak College Autonomous. Today, I am going to see about the American Scholar. The American Scholar is a prose content for American literature. And coming to the title, The American Scholar, this content or this topic was authored by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And speaking about Ralph Waldo Emerson, he's been a poet, worldwide famous lecturer, an essayist, and he belongs to the Transcendentalist movement. And some of his renowned works are Self-Reliance, History, and The Oversoul. And to say about Ralph Waldo Emerson, he is linked with Henry David Thoreau. Here, I would like to point out that Henry David Thoreau and Emerson were known as the Boston Elite Friends. Now, talking about Henry David Thoreau, he's the American naturalist poet and philosopher known for his book Walden. And speaking about the book Walden, it reflects upon the simple living in natural surroundings. So, over to the American Scholar content, what it is all about. This is a speech given by the author Ralph Waldo Emerson. And to whom has he given this speech? It was given to the students of the Phi Beta Kappa Society of the Harvard College, Cambridge, on 31st August 1837. So the author had addressed the students of this society, the Phi Beta Kappa Society of the Harvard College. And what is he all about talking to the students? Before going into the content, the message, the oration, what he had delivered, let me speak about the society. The society is the college fraternity. It is composed of the first 25 in each graduating class, the first 25 students in each graduating class, and it has an academic meeting, an annual meeting every year. And this group is also has many distinguished scholars and thinkers. As an occasion, this is a commencement of the academic year, wherein all these great distinguished scholars and thinkers address the students as an occasion. And speaking about this society, it was founded by John Heath on the 5th of December 1776. This was founded by John Heath on 5th December 1776. And it has a long history and academic selectivity. Even today, this society is functioning in the US, and we have remarkable participants who have given their contributions, and the magazine is still in circulation. It is a periodical prepared, and it is in circulation even to this day. So the students are very, very eminent in their works of written and oratory. Speaking about Transcendentalist movement, when I spoke about the Transcendentalist movement, now both our Ralph Waldo Emerson and Thoreau were members, or they were members of this Transcendentalist movement. And this is a movement, an idealistic group of thought-based writers and philosophers, a movement which has a very idealistic group of members with philosophical thinking, and this movement has three main values to foster. The first one being to foster individualism, idealism, and the divinity of nature. To foster individualism, the individual is focused upon to realize his potential and come out with his interdependence, to shun all dependence and to come out with independence. to come out with independence. And idealism is acting accordingly to what is needed for the society then and there. And of course, divinity of nature reflects how the individual goes along with the nature and is able to absorb from the nature to be a real human being for the society. So this is the overall philosophy of the transcendentalist philosophy, that human thinking move beyond the physical world into deeper spiritual experience. So this is all about transcendentalist philosophy, where again I would like to stress upon the the main ideas to be stressed are to foster individualism, idealism, and divinity of nature. And before going into the prose content, American scholar, according to the author Ralph Waldo Emerson, is that his expectations, his purview about who a scholar of America is from his point of view, and what is expected of an individual to be a scholar from his nation America. So here he emphasizes, he lays stress on the central theme as every thinking individual possess within themselves all of the tools necessary to comprehend the divine interconnectedness of all things. So this is well to be carried out in every individual's thinking, that we have in us all of the tools that we need to comprehend with the divine nature, and then connect ourselves with it to be very up to our potentials in reality. So next I go on to the oration. What is the oration? The president and gentlemen were also the invitees in the audience. This oration was not only for the students, it was also for the people who had been there, and these invitees were there for every academic year, and which was the recommencement of the literary year. Emerson states that it is not a meeting. He is very clear, it's not a meeting for games or tragedies like the Greek, or for parliament of love and poesy like the troubadours, or for any inventions like the British and European. But then he says that the scholar is one who draws close to all of the dependents. He draws close to dependence, and he should just give away dependence on other things. So for a scholar to be to the purview of Ralph Waldo Emerson, he should come out to close up all the dependents. So this is a picture depicting the oration, where the audience are the students who have come back after their vacation, and we have all the great Mr. President and the other gentlemen who as part of the invitees. And next the argument, what Ralph Waldo Emerson argues, he says individuals essentially become the things they work with. And here he speaks about how man is metamorphosed into a thing or many things. For example, a planter, he is only a farmer till the end. He stays a farmer and he is seldom cheered. And the tradesman, his sole content with dollars. And of course the scholar, he says, becomes the delegated intellect. The scholar becomes the delegated intellect. He becomes only a thinker, a mere thinker. He has to act according to his thinking. And he becomes a parrot of other men's thinking. And finally, he is a victim of the society. A victim of the society in the sense he has to go by with all his planned thinking and delegated works. And man, as an individual, he is unable to live up to his fullest potential or to his real idealistic human potential. So he continues to the audience to remember always. Emerson continues and he says, scholars, they are important parts of a larger whole. he has a specific function to the society to facilitate unity irrespective of education or social standing, and important roles to create and maintain a successful society. He is responsible as an individual to create a successful society. But then the irony is that the society has become divided and the individual has lost pride, and the scholar is only identified with his work or a monotonous action. So this is the irony of the individual losing his potential from within himself. And during the period of transition since independence, Americans tried to form their identity. But Emerson, he remarked it to be only an identity from the traditional European ties. And he asserted America listened too long to the courtly muses of Europe. He is of the view we have always been following the Europeans, even after independence. So Americans were seen as timid and imitative by the world. And Emerson's view as for the American scholar is that the individual should follow individualism, idealism, and divinity of nature to bring revolution to unite the country. So this is what is expected of from the author Emerson about who an American scholar is. And he concludes stating, the development of a scholar needs careful observation of nature, inspiration from books, an activity and engaged lifestyle wherein you have your potentiality to be well exposed and experienced. And Emerson's belief in the American scholar is such that he should be one who is very bold, he is creative and self-assured. And last but not the least, the lovely quote by the author, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. So the world is trying to make you as something else, but you be yourself, and that is the great accomplishment in the world. And with this, I just have a question for the students, like Ralph Waldo Emerson, his oration about who an American scholar is. Could you please just think it over about who in our nation, in India, could be one such as a lecturer or one such personality who would have or who could have inspired the students' lot. Thank you.